I think the most dangerous thing happening around Brook Lynn and Chase right now is not a loud explosion, not a sudden custody shock, and not even the possible appearance of Phoebe's biological father. In my opinion, the real danger is much quieter than that. It is Chase's emotional blind spot when it comes to Willow. And I feel that blind spot could destroy the family. Brook Lynn has been trying so hard to build. Brook Lynn is standing right on the edge of the life she wanted. She has love, marriage, stability, and now the possibility of becoming a mother to baby Phoebe. For Brook Lynn, this is not just about adoption or paperwork. I think this is about identity. It is about finally feeling chosen, trusted, and needed. She has spent so much of her life fighting to be taken seriously, and now she is stepping into a role that could soften her, strengthen her, and give her something deeper than romance. But that is exactly why this situation feels so fragile to me. I could be wrong, but I feel like Chase does not understand how much he has to lose. He may love Brook Lynn, but when Willow enters the picture, his judgment gets cloudy. In my opinion, Chase has never fully let go of Willow emotionally. Maybe he convinced himself he moved on. Maybe he believes his loyalty to Willow is just kindness or concern. But I think there is a part of him that still sees Willow as someone pure, someone misunderstood, someone he needs to protect. And that is where the trouble begins. Chase has seen Willow make painful choices before. She betrayed him when she got involved with Michael. Later, Willow's history with Michael became complicated in another way when her feelings for Drew crossed lines that should have made everyone stop and question who Willow really was. In my opinion, Chase should have learned from all of that. He should have understood that Willow is not always the innocent person he remembers. But I feel he keeps returning to an old version of her, a version that may no longer exist. This is just my interpretation, but I think Brook Lynn may be the only person in Chase's life who sees the danger clearly. She may not want to sound jealous. She may not want to become the wife who questions every conversation. But deep down, I feel Brook Lynn knows something is wrong. She can probably sense that Chase gives Willow a kind of emotional access that no married man should be giving another woman. And if Michael sees it too, then the story becomes even more twisted. In my opinion, Michael may be playing a very dangerous game. He may want Chase to open his eyes, but instead of simply warning him, Michael could push the situation until it becomes impossible to ignore. I think Michael may believe that Chase needs to see Willow clearly, even if the truth has to destroy him first. That is cold, but it also feels very Michael when he is angry, hurt, and calculating. What if Michael does not just suspect that Chase and Willow still have unresolved feelings? What if he starts arranging moments where those feelings can surface? A conversation here, a private meeting there, a vulnerable Willow turning to Chase at exactly the wrong time, a marriage already under pressure, a man who still wants to believe he is doing the honorable thing. I could be wrong, but I think Michael's real target might not only be Willow. It might be Brook Lynn's reaction, because if Brook Lynn catches Chase and Willow in bed, or even in a moment that looks impossible to explain, everything changes instantly. Brook Lynn is not someone who quietly accepts humiliation. She may love Chase deeply, but I feel betrayal would cut her in a place love cannot easily repair. Especially now, with Phoebe involved. That is the emotional key for me. Phoebe. Without Phoebe, Brook Lynn might rage, cry, walk away, and maybe eventually listen. But with Phoebe, the stakes become much bigger. Brook Lynn would not just be protecting her heart. She would be protecting the child she already sees as part of her future. In my opinion, if Chase betrays her with Willow, Brook Lynn may decide that Chase is too emotionally unstable, too blind, and too easily manipulated to be trusted as Phoebe's primary parent. That sounds harsh, but I think Brook Lynn could see it that way. She may ask herself, if Chase cannot protect his marriage, can he protect this child? If Chase cannot recognize Willow's pattern, can he make wise choices for Phoebe? If Chase allows his past feelings to ruin their home, why should Brook Lynn share custody of the one innocent person in the middle of the wreckage? I feel the divorce could move fast because Brook Lynn's anger would not just be romantic anger. It would be survival. She would not want long explanations. She would not want excuses about confusion, guilt, or unfinished feelings. In her mind, I think the image of Chase and Willow together would be enough. One scene, one discovery, one emotional collapse, and Brook Lynn could decide the marriage is over. And honestly, in my opinion, Chase might not even know how to defend himself. That is the tragic part. I do not think Chase would necessarily enter this situation intending to destroy his marriage. I think he could convince himself he is helping Willow. He could tell himself that Brook Lynn is overreacting. He could believe he is being compassionate. But sometimes emotional betrayal starts long before anything physical happens. Sometimes the affair begins the moment one person chooses another person's pain over their spouse's peace. That is what I think Brook Lynn may realize. The unexpected twist, to me, is that Michael's plan could succeed too well. He may want to expose Willow and make Chase understand the truth, but he may underestimate Brook Lynn. Once Brook Lynn decides she is done, she may not be interested in being part of Michael's revenge game. She may blame Michael too. She may see that he pushed the situation, waited for the fallout, and used her marriage as a weapon. So now I wonder if this story is bigger than Chase and Willow. Maybe this is about Brook Lynn finally separating herself from everyone who keeps using her emotions as collateral damage. Willow, Chase, Michael, all of them could become people she no longer trusts. And if a custody battle over Phoebe begins, I think Brook Lynn could become fierce in a way we have not seen in a long time. In court, Brook Lynn may argue that she can provide consistency, emotional clarity, and a safer home. Chase, meanwhile, could be painted as a man still tied to another woman, a man whose choices caused the collapse of his own marriage. I could be wrong, but I feel Brook Lynn would have a strong emotional case, especially if Chase's judgment is questioned because of Willow. Still, I do not think this would be a clean victory. Brook Lynn may win custody and still feel broken. She may get Phoebe and still wonder why happiness always comes with a cost. That is what makes this prediction so sad to me. Brook Lynn could gain the child she loves while losing the husband she trusted. And Chase may realize too late that love is not only about good intentions. It is about boundaries. It is about loyalty. It is about knowing when the past is standing too close to the present. This is just my interpretation, and I could be wrong, but I think Brook Lynn's next chapter may begin with one devastating choice: protect the marriage or protect Phoebe. And if Chase gives her even one reason to believe those two things can no longer exist together, I feel Brook Lynn may choose Phoebe without hesitation. The question is not only whether Chase betrays Brook Lynn. The real question is whether Brook Lynn already knows, deep down, that he might.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.